Hey guys, a little bit of a long time no see. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 autumn fragrances for 2022. So I own 9 of these. I'm missing number 8. A full bottle that will be coming soon. So, no honorable mentions, we'll just get right into it. Number 10 is Rising Mysore 3 by Dixit & Zach. So this is probably the best sandalwood note I've ever smelled. Or should I say it contains the best sandalwood note that I've ever smelled. It is incredible. As for the rest of the fragrance, it's really placed second to the sandalwood. So what I'm picking out of my fragrance wardrobe, what do I want to wear today, if it's sandalwood, if I just want to smell the best Mysore sandalwood ever, at least that I've smelled so far, I'm going with Rising Mysore 3. Incredible stuff. Sadly, I was able to buy, I shouldn't say sadly, I was luckily able to pick up a partial of this. So I got about 30% left of it, but I'm loving it. Number 9 is kind of a hype beast, and I have a travel bottle here. This is called Gris Charnel by BDK. So this is a creamy, funny enough, creamy like sandalwood, figgy, iris fragrance. It's really good. I can't say it's ultra artistic, ultra experimental. It's just really good. It kind of smells like designer perfumery done at a very high level. For me, this pretty much makes Prada L'Homme, Dior Homme, Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum, Blase Reserve Privé, whatever all those are called. Makes this relevant, because I think Gris Charnel does it better. The extrait's good, but living in a pretty warm and humid climate, the extrait's a little too much in terms of being a little stuffy and overwhelming, and the humidity. All that to say, number 8 is going to be Apple Tabac by Pineward. I do not own this. I was going to buy a 17ml bottle a few weeks ago, but Pineward was out. Now they have it back, so I'll be placing an order soon. It's Apple Tabac. It's very candly in a way. It's kind of like a Yankee Candle turned into a fragrance, but it's done really well, and it evokes the scent of autumn well, as several of these fragrances do. But that's the first one on this list where I'm like, wow, this smells like autumn. And we'll continue with that later though. So, number 7. It's another travel bottle. It's Cherry Punk by Room 15. I don't know if you can see that. It's my favorite cherry fragrance, period. It's very interesting. It smells very vintage. To me, when I smell this fragrance, it reminds me of cherries, like very sweet cherries left in the back of like a 70s car with a really nice leather interior. It's luxurious, but it's also very dirty. And that's this fragrance is really fun. I should have bought a 50ml bottle because I've only worn it a few times, so I've already put a little bit of a dent in this thing. But this will be gone through relatively soon. It's a joy to wear. On to number 6. We have Etruscan Water by Francesca Bianchi. The best chypre probably ever made. I don't know what to say. Think of Mitsuko Eau de Parfum, and it's that, but better. Not much else to say about it. It's definitely multifaceted. You get it's definitely not a marine or aquatic fragrance, but it almost has an aquatic nature to it. It's not even a word, aqueous nature to it. It's really good. It's definitely dense at times though, but as it dries down, it's a little more transparent. A whole bunch of buzzwords to say it's really good. It's a really good chypre. It's a recent acquisition, and it's not been quite cold enough to really wear it all that much outside of the house. But this is going to be Kissed by Slumber House. So, I've not smelled an original batch of this, but, or not to play, batch hunt. I'm not trying to do batch hype here, but this smells like peach sweet tea with a bunch of tobacco. I've heard the older batches smell different, so I was getting at earlier, but I don't really care. I have this bottle. I love it. It's syrupy sweet, throughout the first several hours, but as it dries down, the syrupy sweetness sort of fades away. It's just general sweetness. And it has this like hay-like accord to it. I don't know if that's an actual listed note, but it has this hay-like accord to it that I really enjoy. Slumber House, it's a really good house. And I've been saying house a lot this review or this video, but house. It's good. It's really good. It also evokes autumn, similarly to Apple Tobacco. Into number 4. It's a bottle that I've put a massive dent in. I don't know how much longer this bottle will last. I'll be buying 100 ml when I'm done with this, but it is Dolce Amalfi by Xerjoff out of the Cosmoretti line. It's like fruity vanilla done exceptionally well. Xerjoff, of course, it's done well. I believe it's quince. Quince is the main note I get out here. Also, there is a spice. It's forgetting it now, but I think it's clove. It does smell like clove to me. You smell other clove fragrances. I'm always like, oh, it smells like Dolce Amalfi. Quince, vanilla, and clove. It's mainly what I get, at least. I love it. Such a stupidly good fragrance. It's a gourmandy type fragrance that can be worn most of the year, even in summer. If it's not super humid where you're at, it's like a dry heat. I could see 2 sprays of this going quite a long way. But down here I cannot spray this a million times, but in the summer. But it is very good. On to another recent acquisition. Number 3. Floriental by Comme des Garçons. It is plummy, incensey sandalwood. Done, I'm saying for all these, it's just done at a really high level. I don't really know how to describe this too well. It is pretty futuristic in that it gets kind of metallic at times, but sometimes it's also not metallic at all. So I think it just depends on the humidity and sort of the weather conditions of where you're at. But this is really, really good. Let me, the atomizers on this. It's really good. You just gotta smell it for yourself. It's a pretty abstract fragrance, especially compared to the other sandalwood heavy fragrances on this list. The sandalwood in here is very different. I mean, obviously, its price is lower. It's not super artisanal like the Dixon and Zach or anything. But it's so good. It's still so good, and I like it more than a Dixon and Zach. This has been getting heavy wear from me. On to another sandalwood heavy fragrance, at least in the dry down. Number 2, top 2 time. Creed's Viking. This is my scent of the day today. You've smelled it, it's like cinnamon in the opening, like a very cinnamony. And I don't think cinnamon's a listed note in the, maybe it is, but it's like a cinnamon mint, basically a spicy mint opening that leads out into a nice like pink peppery mid to a sandalwood heavy dry down. It's fantastic. It's probably my favorite Creed that I own out of the 4 bottles that I do have. You can tell through this, I got like 40%, at best 40% of this left, so I'm gonna be rocking this and buying a new bottle soon, I'm sure. But Creed Viking, number 2. And I recently bought this bigger bottle of my number 1 fragrance, Baccarat Rouge Eau de Parfum, Baccarat Rouge 540 Eau de Parfum by Mason Francis Kirkjohn. Oh, it's incredible. Most people have smelled this or smelled clones of it. It is decadent. So it's, people get very different things. People will get the dental floss. Some people get like the sugar floss, or like a cotton candy vibe from it. I get more the cotton candy vibe. For me, I spray it on for a good 2 to 3 hours. It's very sweet. But then in the dry down, it gets this like, almost like coniferous, sort of woody, like aromatic-ish vibe. It is amazing. And also garners stupid amount of compliments. Like if I'm going to a party, I'm going 4 or 5 sprays of this and I'm good to go. So those are my top 10 fragrances for autumn 2022. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Bye.